Alright. What am I doing today? My cat. Commenting briefly, and this will be brief, just on the YouTube thing. YouTube changed its format, it changed some of their rules a little bit. And there's been a bit of discussion on the demonetization of videos. Now, mind you, I have virtually no audience. I think my total income from YouTube has yet to reach 50 cents. So I have no skin in this game. I'm doing this partially because I'm enjoying it, and also I want to learn how to do this. So, as opposed to people who are relying on YouTube ads, YouTube monetization as their income, as their actual kind of job. So, what do I have to say about all this? I think Mundane Matt kind of nailed it with YouTube's enormous. So what? So what's going on? What is the deal? Why this is like everything. It all gets a tangled web, and we need to clear this thing out. So let's get into this. The gist of what's going on is that YouTube changed their terms of service a bit. They modified some of the rules under which YouTube videos run, particularly the demonetization, where, if you're not familiar with it, there are kind of elaborate rules about how you post videos, what you're permitted to post, what's appropriate for a YouTube video at all, what's appropriate for a monetized video, and what the end result of this has been is that very recently a number of professional YouTube content providers, I don't know what else to call them, guys who are really doing this as their income, some of their videos were demonetized somewhat at random, seemingly. One idea being kicked around is that this is a form of censorship, specifically people who made enemies or something like that about particularly PC culture, but just criticized someone somewhere, and now their videos won't make money, which is very painful for people who rely on that money. Basically, YouTube turned off their monetization. Okay, going through that, Mundane Matt and a couple others actually have pointed out that it can't be YouTube is watching videos, finding something they dislike or don't want on, and just demonetizing it. That can't be happening. Not as simply as that. YouTube, the volume of videos that go through YouTube is just too big. It's just too large. YouTube is something like, I think it's something like 300 and some days of video, like a minute. It's insane. At this point, no human being and no workforce could possibly watch all of the YouTube videos, or even a reasonable portion of them, even a tiny portion of them. So there's no way, someone can single them out like YouTube itself. There's just no way for them to do it. One of the things they do to kind of rein in things that would piss off their ad people. YouTube makes its money from ads, period. But basically, people show videos for free, ads appear here or off to that side, or below, or right before a video starts. Occasionally there's a little sort of like right around here, there's a little pop-up ad that'll show while the video is running. I actually tend to shy away from that one. It kind of annoys me. Regardless, YouTube makes money off that, kind of splits the money with the content creator themselves. So YouTube does the hosting, the content provider, and it's very transparent, it's very smooth and easy to operate. Speaking from experience, as a guy who just started doing this like 3 weeks ago or something like that, less than 3 weeks, it's really smooth. Once you get into it, it's very easy to post videos and monetize them. You can actually set that as a default setting. So just upload the video, add some detailed description, here's some tags, here's a little cover image, done. I mean, it just does itself. Aside from the actual upload time, which can be a little time consuming, which runs automatically as an aside, it's pretty dirt simple, actually. So why is YouTube doing this? Well, they're running bots, is the simple answer. Robots are basically searching for anything that might be, just something to appease their, their actual advertisers. Like, hey, we're not, we don't want videos, understandably, you don't want videos with, God alone knows, someone being decapitated or something, or actual pornography or something like that. Or something awful. Something awful that an advertiser would go, we're being advertised in front of what? So these bots are a way to mollify them. And that's that. It's not someone's being singled out. There's no real censorship, no cognizant censorship. No one's going, hey, we want to censor this. It's more some robots decided something about this video, probably from the description, triggered a bot to say, hey, check this thing out, demonetized by default. Someone looked at it for maybe half a second, said click, 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 yeah. I've got 100 million of these to do this hour, so whatever. Done. Demonetized. They'll complain about it or they won't. In which case, then we'll review it and then we'll re-monetize it, I guess. I don't know how that's going down. Or that's one take on it. So there's two. There's one is they're singling them out, not technically possible. The other, it's just random. It's essentially random because it's being done by bots that are just doing searches. So there's no real rhyme or reason to it. It's just trying to find, in some simple automated way, a way to capture the bad stuff so they can appease their advertisers. I have a slightly different take on that. A third option I'd like to get into just a little bit, though. One possibility. I don't know how YouTube works. I don't work for that company. But it's worth looking into, at least speculating or examining it. Another possibility that's kind of being examined and maybe thrown around a little bit is maybe it's not so random, or maybe it's mostly random. But in addition to bot flagging, a term I just invented just now, or did I? I don't know. I'm going to look it up. I am going to look it up. In addition to that, maybe there's the possibility that it isn't so random, that someone is actually complaining about this, that, or the other. Yeah, that's totally bot flagging is a term that already exists. Oh well. Thought I was going to be a trendsetter for half a second. Anyway, one possibility, once again, examined, I don't know what's going on behind the scenes at YouTube, but one possibility is that people are complaining about a certain video, critical of the video for maybe political reasons or other reasons. And, for example, this guy pointed out, one of the examples, just saying, hey, this guy had some criticism of something I'm politically in favor of, I'm going to tell YouTube about it. And while that person has done nothing wrong, I mean, has not violated terms of service. Nonetheless, their video gets demonetized. If that's happening, then there has to be some sort of mechanism like that, so it could very well be. I assume it does at least a little. I'm imagining that, once again, YouTube is probably, whoever's behind the scenes there, is probably dealing with like thousands, maybe even tens of thousands of videos, where it's just like, okay, whatever, click, click, click. Yeah, just demonetize. I've got shit to do and like a million miles of videos to take care of. To make a yay or nay say on it. So I don't think, once again, it's very deliberate. I just think it's kind of random, even when a person's doing it, simply because they don't have the time and manpower to mull over every single detail of every video, which is still kind of shitty. And I think their terms of service, who was it? Chris Reagan, I think, is one person. Someone else, regardless, pointed out that the new terms of service sound, I think Orwellian was the term, although I disagree. Nonetheless, it sounded pretty harsh. Like, there were anything that offends anyone or is not advertiser friendly, and the rules were very vague. They were very, very abstract. And I don't think YouTube applied those for the sake of, hey, we just want to demonetize and hassle a bunch of content providers to Mickey Mouse YouTube content. I just think they made them vague so anything they or their bots do, which is going to be kind of ham-fisted, it'll be done quickly as possible. The volume of YouTube videos is immense. So it'll just be covered. They're just covering their asses. And that's not great. That's not great at all. But I understand where they're coming from. I am fully cognizant of the fact that people use YouTube to store all videos. Porn, horrible stuff, like snuff videos, you name it. And I don't mean, oh, that stuff's been flagged or demonetized. Oh my god, I can't imagine videos like that have been monetized. I imagine you wouldn't, just to keep it kind of under the radar, but they're out there. And full-blown copyrighted films, full freaking films, are on YouTube. You can find them. If you can find them, it's tricky. Usually it's in another language or deliberately misspelled, or YouTube has a version of their site for other countries. Their search bot or whatever is going to be looking in, for example, Turkish, but if it's American or close enough to it, you can kind of hide Batman v Superman or Ghostbusters or whatever the hell you want to hide there. It's really no problem. They get taken down, but like I said, the process for putting up a video is automated. Make a brand new account, log in from somewhere else, upload the video. Who's going to stop you? The sheer volume of YouTube videos, of content, is just so staggering that YouTube can't police it. It can't police it effectively. Not the way they'd like to. I mean, I'm sure they would like there to be, community standards for whatever country the YouTube video is being hosted for. If it's for America, it probably shouldn't have any nudity or any sexuality or any extreme violence. I live on a racetrack, I swear to God. Where was I? But yeah, I think they'd like to stop them and like to police their videos, or at least have some sort of control there, but the control is always going to be kind of half-assed. I take that back. Extremely half-assed, quarter-assed, maybe eighth-assed, maybe less, like 1/16 of an ass. Because they just can't manage it, so they're going to do it in a very rough fashion. And they're going to step on someone's toes, and they're going to piss someone off. It's understandable. It's inevitable, too. I think it's worth drawing attention to some of the misbehavior. Well, like I said, I don't think it's deliberate. But if you are presenting yourself as a company that runs on, that has an ethical code. It's not enough to have no bad motives. You can't have, it's more than that. I've worked at companies that have crazy ethical standards. I work for the government or a telecom that represents lots of very large companies. The ethical standards usually explicitly delineate it's not just wrongdoing, but the appearance of wrongdoing. You can't even look like you're up to something. And yes, YouTube is a private company. It's not. I mean, I think they're protected, and they can be full-on censor crazy. On the other hand, I don't think they want to be, or more to the point, I don't think they want a reputation for being so, because that would hurt them a lot. If content creators can't monetize videos, or can't monetize a certain kind of video, and it's a broad stroke, it affects enough people, they're going to move to something else. Vimeo and Vimeo exist. Who else is there? Oh, there are quite a few alternatives that didn't really catch on the way, that existed at the same time as YouTube, or afterwards. It's like, hey, this video content thing is working out pretty good, and let's try it ourselves. And there are quite a few companies that do this. Fuck, man, Google does this. Google videos. Facebook has been trying to get in on the video thing. If any of those companies are less restrictive, and many of them are. I mean, you think YouTube has no ability to, or very restricted ability to police itself. Other companies just don't care. You want to host porn? Go for it. And that's a draw. On the flip side, there isn't as large an audience. That's my take on that. Otherwise, like I said, I don't think it's deliberate, but drawing attention to it is good. It's not enough just to have no bad intentions. You can't have the appearance of bad intentions. YouTube wants to be friendly to content providers. Yes, they make their actual money from the ads, from their advertisers, but the advertisers are not going to pay them any money at all if there are no eyes on the site. They're very reliant on content providers. Yes, there's things like YouTube Red. YouTube is trying to get into the same game as Netflix and Amazon, making their own content, making their own videos, having subscription services, and allowing you to buy videos. I've actually purchased, I think, 2 videos from YouTube that I can still watch at any time. But most of their, I mean, I won't say, I don't know for sure, but I strongly suspect the vast majority of their income, like maybe the vast majority, like more than 99%, comes purely from free content that people have created, and they are encouraged, incentivized to create that content because they can make money from it, and because they have that public forum where they will not be censored. If they feel like they are being, even if it's not deliberate, like I said, if they feel like they are, if their videos are getting demonetized, doesn't matter what the impulse behind it, whether it's pure a mistake, an accident, a misunderstanding, or deliberate malice, the effect is the same. And that's kind of my take on that. So, I don't really have a definitive, yay, this is YouTube okay, or YouTube sucks. I'm usually going to lean towards the middle, because I suspect most things are like that, where it's a variety of causes and effects. The world is dynamic, it's rich and complex. There's always more than one source, more than one influence. YouTube has a lot of them. It's really big, but you know, if too many of them accumulate and this becomes a hostile environment, people are going to jump ship, and that would be a shame, because there's a lot of cool stuff here, including my site. So, yeah. As always, like and subscribe. I think that's it. I think I may have actually succeeded in doing a shorter video. Okay, it's time to get out. I'm out.